Welcome back to the Voiceovers Podcast. I'm 24K Logan, and today I'm going to be reviewing Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. So I'm going to start off by saying this. When it comes down to the entire Planet of the Apes franchise, I actually just watched all of the films earlier this week. I had never watched them before. I had always heard good things about them. I had just never took the time to watch them, unfortunately, but I was lucky enough to be able to catch up on every single film prior to seeing it on premiere night. And I can honestly say that this franchise is easily one of the greatest franchises that I have watched in my lifetime so far. I think it's extremely underrated, and I would say that now that this is the fourth installment of the reboot franchise, if you will, they're 4 for 4. I don't know if this film is as strong, or I can't necessarily say that it's as strong as Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, War of the Planet of the Apes. I just believe that those films had set such a high standard that it's kind of hard to try and repeat that. But I do think that overall, this story, for what they did for Kingdom, it was a great story. Noah is a great character. The supporting cast was great between May and Raka. And even Proximus Caesar was a hell of a villain. If I had a con about this film, it would be the whole thing of not having Caesar there anymore. Of course, you can't go back and change the story and whatnot, but I just think that the presence of Caesar was heavily missed in the film, although there were constantly references being made to Caesar. And just FYI, this is a spoiler-free review, so I'm not going to get into too many details in case any of you watching this video have not seen it yet. This is a spoiler-free review. Like I said, the presence of Caesar was heavily missed, and I think that, with a character like Caesar, again, I believe that this franchise is heavily underrated, and I have Caesar easily amongst the greatest characters in film cinematic history, period, in the discussion. And I think that there were times where they tried to relive Caesar, or they tried to make the main character Noah into Caesar. I do think that Noah is without question a descendant of Caesar. People in the comment sections on YouTube were pointing out how Noah has a birthmark over his right pec, if I'm not mistaken, just like Caesar. And then even when you look at, the facial expressions and the jawline and just the overall physical appearance of Noah and Caesar, when you compare them, it actually is fairly similar. So I do think that Noah is a descendant of Caesar. So it makes sense that they are trying to, or at least it seems like they're trying to make Caesar, or make Noah the new Caesar. Other than that, I don't have anything really that bad to say about the film. Like I said, I think with this installment, this franchise is now 4 for 4. This film had a story about family, about ancestry, about heritage, lineage, things of that nature. And the way that they were, in a way, able to pay homage to Caesar while continuing on, this next generation of apes. I believe that the current day, or the time period that is set in, is 300 years after the death of Caesar. And so it's very interesting to see how they are able to put it all together and fast forward many years later down the road, and you have an entire new generation of apes. Caesar in this film is now this folklore almost, and there have been certain things within the lore of Caesar, within his story and the man that he was, or the ape that he was. There were a lot of tweaks and a lot of history changes revolving around Caesar, to the point where certain things about him were falsified. His teachings were falsified or, changed throughout different generations. The ancestors or the elders, they just simply didn't have the correct information on Caesar. And the antagonist, of course, which is named ironically Proximus Caesar, he just so happens to be a part of that generation that has the wrong teachings of Caesar, and he uses this to his advantage to try and do what he thinks is the right thing to do for the kingdom, but in reality it's not. The VFX, I mean, amazing. And it has been 6 years since we've gotten a Planet of the Apes film. The VFX was amazing. The performances were nothing short of solid. Again, the supporting cast was great. I don't know if it's necessary for them to do a sequel. I do not like sequels, but with Planet of the Apes being a huge moneymaker, and also when you take into consideration that they are currently 4 for 4 with the reboot franchise, and I think that there could be a solid story that they can continue maybe for a couple of more films. I just don't want them to get to the point where they get burnt out and it just becomes a senseless cash grab. I don't think they need to do that to this franchise. I'm sure that a lot of you watching this video, when you first heard the news that they were going to do another Planet of the Apes, and of course Caesar wasn't going to be in it, I know a lot of you were probably questioning how good of a project this would be, if it even made sense, because Caesar is such an iconic character. And while I do think that his presence was heavily and noticeably missed, very missed, the new characters, the new generation of apes, solid. And again, this franchise it's amazing. This whole story of humans destroying each other and the apes being able to take over and run the world like the humans did at one point, and then being able to bring that whole story to life into cinema is nothing short of amazing. I'm definitely going to go back and watch this film a couple of more times. I plan on seeing it again next weekend with my family. This was a hell of a movie. Again, I have nothing but great things to say for the most part about this entire franchise. If you have not seen Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes yet, do yourself a favor and go see it. I also have to say that it is easily one of the greatest films that I've seen in recent years, at least. And so far, one of the most solid films of this decade. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for all the love and the support that you have been showing. We will not let you guys down. We got plenty of content on the way. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you have seen Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, comment down below what you think about it, your thoughts, your overall opinions. Do you think it's necessary for them to do another sequel? Even comment down below if you think Caesar and Noah are actually related, or if Noah is a descendant of Caesar. We got plenty of content on the way. Once again, thank you all so much for the love and the support that you have been showing. Turn those post notifications on so you don't miss a video when we drop. And until next time, peace and love to everybody.